I can barely get any reception on this stupid thing. So far, the only station that comes in is some British guys reading news from places I'm not sure exist.
Today, in Kazakhstan, a peaceful demonstration turned to bloodshed as members of the Tuzili tribe flooded Kenpao Square in remembrance of the 3rd anniversary of the Holmesburg massacre. But finally, some good news out of neighbouring Kanduzi, as locals there have reached an uneasy alliance with the bordering Trolika Bubsy Wubsy Dal. And now with sports, here's Framtel Tromwibbler.
From the world of sport, the Cointon Spinky Wampers flumped the Floing Boing Welfenklompers 70 fluff to 40 flabe. At the tone, the time will be 26 Railroad.
I'm not sure about any of that.
Are you sick and tired of your calm, peaceful life? Are you sleeping too well at night? Is your city too safe? Well, not anymore. Introducing Democrats. Politicians so incompetent, they'll fill your neighborhood with riots, looting, rampant violence, and even homelessness. The secret is a special blend of corruption and good old-fashioned stupidity. No more pesky law and order. When Democrats are in charge, nobody's safe. Simply vote for Democrats, sit back, and watch your neighborhood burn to the ground. But wait, vote for Democrats now, and they'll include rolling blackouts, election fraud, cancel culture, taxes, and more taxes. Democrats, bringing chaos right to your front door.
In all his shows, he speaks for me. I do so like that Jimmy Z. I listen to him in my house. I listen to him with my spouse. I listen to his show online. I listen to it anytime. I listen to him here and there. I listen in my underwear. I listen while I'm on a date. My wife says, please, oh, can't you wait? I listen when it's raining out. I listen when I've got the gout. I listen using my smartphone. I listen to his velvet tone. I listen to him while at work. I listen when he goes berserk. I listen to him sing his songs. I listen to him all day long. I listen while I take a walk. I love to listen to him talk. I listen with my dog and cat. I listen daily. How about that? I love his show, and I agree. I really like that Jimmy Z. The Jimmy Z Show on demand.
Jimmy?
And we can.
Get over it! Black! Get over it! I'll say it again with emphasis. Black! Black!
Hi there.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Jimmy Z, finally. After a long break. After all, I was working on this show for 2 or 3 months, so I needed to take a vacation. I am Jimmy Z, high-octane conservative proselytizing. The show today is going to be, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately. Well, first let me back up. Last weekend I was going to do some show, but my back was still sore. It was much improved, but still sore. My lower back around the center to center right was very sore. And I thought, I had to work the week before that. And so this coming week, which we just finished, I needed to be there also. So there was no way I was going to abuse myself and sit. It takes me about 2 hours of sitting to do 1 hour of show. So I had to kick back. And I watched television. I watched Hawaii Five-0. I watched a bunch of crap. And I got up a few times to do this and that. And I took a drive a couple of times. I drove out to breakfast one morning. And otherwise, I took it easy, and my back was much improved, but not 100% on Monday. It's about 92%, 94%, something like that now. It's much improved, and I'm very happy with the process. I went to see the chiropractor a couple of times. He's doing, I guess I would describe it as deep tissue massage, but it's muscles and ligaments around my hip and lower back area, and he moves my leg in a certain way, like 8 or 10 times, while he's pressing most uncomfortably on the muscles and the ligaments and the tendons and whatever. Don't need to go any more detail than that. But the fact is that I'm much improved, and so now we're able to do a show. It is Friday, May 7th, and it's been 13 days since the last program, and my apologies to you who are probably wondering what happened to the show. That's what happened. Now, today's show is going to be It's Audio Mayhem! Yes, that's right. It's Audio Mayhem, and that's because there's so much audio that I have. Can you imagine how much has piled up? Because the whole time I was not doing the show for 2 weeks, I was going through stuff that I should talk about on the show. We will never get to all of it. Okay? We'll never. I could do 6 hours over the weekend. We'll never get to all of it. And so a lot of it will be I'll just trash it. I'll toss it out. Because, you can only do what you can do. So we will spend as many hours as we can this weekend getting caught up. Because there's a lot to listen to. There's a lot of stories to talk about, a lot of issues, and a lot of commentary. If you're not following me on Facebook, you're missing some brilliant stuff. Yes, brilliant commentary. But if you want to follow me on Facebook, that's a good idea. You can use my real name and search me out and join me there, and it's going to be fun. But what was I going to say? I think that's it. So we're going to start with Michelle Obozo. She is such a twit. And she is always, when they put the camera and the microphone in front of Michelle Obama, she is always negative on America. She's always talking about how bad America is. She was interviewed on CBS television by, what's that woman's name? She's the close friend, and some people think that she's the lesbian lover of Orca Windbag. I can't remember what her name is. But she's so annoying because she's always about blackety black. And she talks reverentially to Michelle Obama. And it's just crazy. So here they're talking about the aftermath of the guilty verdict. God, there's just so much to talk about. The guilty verdict of Officer Chauvin. He was found guilty of 3 different charges. And the jury did not distinguish, like, whether it should have been this, that, or the other. And I went through this on the last show, number 43. The fact is that you can't be guilty of 3 different forms of murder at the same time. I suppose that there are lawyers who would argue that you can. But to me, if it's manslaughter, it's manslaughter, and it's not murder. And if it's murder, it's not manslaughter, it's murder. But they piled on 3 charges so that they could appease the protesters who are going to go crazy if even one of these charges is tossed out, because there's going to be a retrial. Because there's a juror out there, at least one juror. There are pictures of him running around in a T-shirt with a picture of, I think it's Martin Luther King. And the shirt says, "Get your knee off of our necks." All right, that's a juror. Are you kidding me? No, he lied. He answered, the jurors have to answer questions from the prosecution and the defense. And then if you get on the jury, both the defense, in most cases, both the defense and the prosecution need to approve the jury. So this guy lied. He absolutely lied because he was absolutely 100% biased toward guilty. So this trial, I believe, prediction, I don't like making predictions, but this will come close to making a prediction. I believe that this trial is going to happen again. There's going to be a retrial. They're going to have to toss this out because obviously the jury was tainted. Obviously. They should have tossed out that juror and then brought the jury back and had them sequestered again to go through their deliberations. Because I don't think that you can have this kind of ridiculousness. Some jury member out there with a T-shirt that is, he was 100% predisposed to finding Chauvin guilty. Anyway, so that's one topic that we get to here. But this is, what's-her-face on CBS talking to Moochy Obozo. And they're talking about the aftermath of the Chauvin trial guilty verdicts. And hang on to your hat.
The goal is to let leaders lead, but in certain times people, look to us often, well, what do you think? How do you feel? And we know that while we're all breathing a sigh of relief over the verdict, there's still work to be done. And so we can't sort of say, great, that happened, let's move on. I know that people in the Black community don't feel that way because many of us still live in fear.
Okay, look, to quote a voice we've heard a number of times, Piers Morgan, what a load of fatuous nonsense.
What a load of fatuous nonsense.
Like Michelle Obama knows what it's like. Now, Michelle Obama, okay, former first lady, she spent 8 years in the White House with her husband and her mother. All right, we paid for her mother to stay at the White House as well. But Michelle Obama, who is a former first lady, and she and her husband Barry get Secret Service security for the rest of their lives. She knows, of all people on earth, she knows what it's like in the Black community, on the streets. She's down with the struggle, and she knows. What a load of fatuous nonsense. God, I can't stand this kind of nonsense, this kind of fear-mongering. She's not telling you about the fear she feels. The way she words what she says, the way she speaks and puts the sentence together makes it sound like she shares your fear. No, she is preaching fear. She wants, and this is because of her political agenda, the Democrats' political agenda is to keep using Black people and their fear of police against the country. And so she is preaching fear. She wants Black women and Black men watching this interview on television to think, yeah, I am afraid. God, I just can't stand it. And she goes on.
As we go to the grocery store or worry about walking our dogs.
Now, I just thought of something else. Okay, you're living in the hood, because she's not talking about living in a luxurious neighborhood where she and Barack live. She's talking about Black neighborhoods, because she's talking about Black people. And she's referring to herself as if she lives in the same neighborhoods where Black people are afraid of the police. If you're out walking your dog, wouldn't you be more afraid of gangbangers? Wouldn't you be afraid of a drive-by shooting where little kids get shot? Like in Chicago? She's not talking about that, though. Oh, no, my daughters. She's going to talk about here, she's going to carry on more, but I just can't get over the fact that they are pushing this agenda, this anti-cop agenda, when the police are not out to kill you, but the gangbangers very well might.
As we go to the grocery store or worry about walking our dogs or allowing our children to get a license. I mean, just imagine.
Aren't your girls driving?
They're driving.
Yeah.
But every time they get in a car by themselves, I worry about what assumption is being made by somebody who doesn't know everything about them. The fact that they are good students and polite girls, but maybe they're playing their music a little loud.
Okay, and that's where I had to stop. Maybe they're playing their music a little loud. Yeah, right. They're going to get pulled over for that. Look, the police are driving around. They don't know everything about anyone. Okay, it's not just that they don't know everything about your daughters who happen to be black. They don't know, the police don't know everything about anyone. We're all on the same page. So if your daughter, I hate to go through this again, but if your daughter isn't dealing drugs, if she's not living a life of crime, if she's not high on drugs or booze and gets pulled over, and if she doesn't treat the cop with disrespect and start resisting and trying to run away, trying to grab the taser, that's what happened to the guy in, I think it was Atlanta, somewhere in Georgia, not sure, but this was the guy in the drive-thru who got shot by a police officer, and that police officer was reinstated this week because he was found to have been fired without cause. And so everybody's upset about this. Well, he shot that guy. That guy grabbed the police officer's taser. At that point, it's all over. If you're going to grab a weapon from the police officer is going to shoot you. This is not rocket surgery. God, it pisses me off. Listening to her, you would think that every black person who gets into a car is at risk of death. And if that's true, why in the hell would you let your children drive? I wouldn't. If I thought that there were stormtroopers out there that were shooting every 16, 17, 18-year-old they saw, they were in that much danger that if they were playing their music a little loud, the police might drive by and pull them over and shoot them dead. I don't think I would let my kids drive a car. This is ridiculous. And this is only a few seconds of what she had to say. She and that silly woman on CBS. Can't remember her name. But I look at her face and I see agenda. I see black, black, blackety black. It's always about blackness and race. And when you're focused on race, when race is the focus, this whole thing about race that she and Moochy Obozo are talking about, it's all based on racism. This is racism, straight up. This isn't racism from white people. These are two black women who are looking at this from a racist standpoint. That the police are out to kill us because we're black. That's their bottom line. And it pisses me off. I can't tell you. It's Audio Mayhem. All right, next up, we're going to play some audio from it's audio from a Popeyes restaurant. And we're going to take some audio here from the Michael Knowles show. He's one of the hosts at the Daily Wire. And I want you to hear what he says because he refers to this guy as fella. And I think it's on purpose. It's about the only word you can use now without everyone coming down, without the woke crowd coming down on you and trying to shut you down. A word for not just homosexuals, but anybody who's gender confused or whatever it is. This is so funny how he starts this. But just listen to this guy at Popeyes upset because, well, you're going to hear why. This is the most ridiculous crap imaginable. Well, not really, because everything that's going on right now is the most ridiculous crap imaginable. Everything. All the stories you hear about in the news are ridiculous crap. All of that disaster at the border that was caused by the potato in the White House, it's all ridiculous crap. Across the board, everything that all the Democrats are talking about on the television news, if you have the stomach to listen to it, it's all ridiculous crap. But this is exceptional ridiculous crap.
There was a fella dressed up as a lady who had a breakdown because allegedly some guy at a Popeyes, my favorite chicken shop, called him sir.
I'm gonna be talking to your manager. This guy called me sir. I get this happens every day. Everywhere I go, I get called sir. I'm so hurt. Why would you call a chick big ass Why would you call? I didn't say. No, stop trying to gaslight trans people and tell us that we're crazy. Wait, what? Did you call me sir again? What was that? You said goodnight, sir? This is transphobic harassment. Oh my. You're a bigot. Oh my. At work. All right, Alex. You know what? I can't wait to this. It's a slur. Do you not understand?
I never said sir.
It's like if you call the person of color the N-word. Don't.
Sir.
You did on the way out. I don't care.
But I never.
I have the right to be pissed about it.
I never said sir.
You did.
I said I'll lock the door.
You did, you liar. Cis people need to be held accountable for how they treat trans people. And I'm not going to put up with this anymore.
You're crazy, bro.
You're don't call me bro. Stop throwing slurs at me, you piece of
Just, wow. That is just incredible. What it's a gold mine, that piece of audio. I love that. You're going to be hearing that on a regular basis. This, you know what? If you want acceptance, if you want people to accept you as a woman, even though you're a man and you must look like a man, if everywhere he goes, he said this, everywhere I go, people call me sir. What's that telling you? It's that your costume is not very convincing.
Everywhere I go, I get called sir.
Well, duh. Maybe you need to change something. Maybe you need to start shaving. I don't know, man. Something's not working. Just because you put on a wig and a dress doesn't mean that people are going to call you ma'am. Wow, man. That guy needs help. And you know what? So what? You're trying to demand that society accept your mental illness. I'm sorry. I know some people are going to disagree with that, but too bad. I'm going to speak the truth here, even if I'm alone in doing so. But come on. Just because, like I said just now, just because you put on a wig and a dress does not make you a woman. And you're demanding that society turn around and call you ma'am and refer to you as female. And then you could hear him very quickly there. He said something about cis people. That's the word is CIS, cis. And if you're cis, that means like you're cis male, that is you're born male and you are still being male. And if you're cis female, then you are born female and you are not trying to transition away from that. So when these people call you a cis person, it's almost an insult. That's the way that William Shatner was describing it on Twitter before I got fired from Twitter. I got completely banned. I'm out of Twitter forever. Because, and that's another long story, but anyway, William Shatner got into it a number of times with people who were calling him cis male, and he said, no, that means that I would be playing your game. I'm not. I'm a man. I'm male. That's it. So I agree with him. I don't know if I can say anything else about this. I'm probably already getting in trouble. And you know what? It wasn't too long after I started posting my shows on Twitter. And it makes you wonder if somebody listened to my show and I was a little too outspoken. And, Facebook still allows me on there. And I've been very careful not to get banned again. But Twitter, they sent me an email after, I don't know, it's been 4 months since my account stopped functioning. And they sent me an email and they said, your account's been suspended and it will not be reinstated. So thank you very much, Twitter. And they accused me of all kinds of things. Hang on here. I should get that email. Because, there's all sorts of stuff to talk about on the show. Do a search here for Twitter. And the problem with doing a search on Twitter is that you get everything that anyone mentions Twitter in their email, and it all comes up. So ridiculous. Okay, here it is. Case number, blah, blah, blah. Your account has been suspended and will not be restored because it was found to be violating Twitter's terms of service. specifically the rules against hateful conduct. I was hateful on Twitter. And all that means is you disagreed with the leftists. You are not in agreement. You are not marching in lockstep with our agenda. Because I'm definitely not hateful. They say, it is against our rules to promote violence against or directly attack or threaten other people. I never do that. Never. I never make threats. Why? Well, for a couple of reasons. One, I don't want to get blocked. I don't want to get tossed out like Twitter has done. But I also don't want the police showing up. I don't want somebody knocking on my door and saying, hey, we need to talk to you about the threats you made on the internet. No, I don't do it. They say directly attack or threaten other people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, disability, or disease. Now, this is where they might have something, but I still don't think it's a bannable offense. Because if somebody ran a story, like if TMZ ran a story on Twitter, and it was about Bruce Jenner, who is now going by the name of Caitlyn Jenner. And boy, God, if you see him talk, and we're going to play the audio from his campaign ad. He's running for governor of California, and you might laugh. I did. But it's very possible that he's going to be taken, and I'm saying he's going to be taken seriously because he makes some really good points. But every time somebody runs a story on or posts a story about Caitlyn Jenner, I say Bruce. And I use the word he. Hang on one second. All right, that's no big deal. I had to make a pit stop. Anyway, it goes on. It says, additionally, if we determine that the primary purpose of an account is to incite harm towards others on the basis of these categories, that account may be suspended without prior warning. So they have determined that my account, which was at the Jimmy Z Show, the primary purpose of my being on Twitter was to incite harm toward others on the basis of one of those categories: race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, disability, or disease. And by the way, Twitter allows people who are Christians to be slammed consistently all day long, and they don't do shit about it. So if you're Christian, it's open season on the Christians on Twitter. God. So anyway, that's what happened to me on Twitter. All right, let's see what's next on the Great Big Audio Mayhem Show. It's Audio Mayhem! Okay, I'm going to recommend that if you determine that you want to see this advertisement, it runs about 3 minutes. I'm talking about the advertisement from Bruce Jenner. And I got a great email from my friend Deborah. And she was talking about how it's so sad and pathetic to watch people like Sean Hannity have Bruce Jenner on the show and talk to him as if he's her and refer to her as she and, give him all of the terminology to say that they accept him as being female now. And it's just, I'm sorry. When you hear this, I'll tell you what my first reaction was when I listened to this. And I didn't watch the video. I listened to what was being said. And he still sounds like Bruce Jenner. And he's talking about the state of California and the problems and what the state of California used to be. And he's right. He's exactly right. And I was thinking, damn, if you were still Bruce Jenner, I would support you. I would vote for you. I would try to get you elected. But this Caitlyn Jenner, I'm not going to vote for. I'm not going to support this. Mental illness for the state office of governor? I'm sorry. And it is mental illness. That's entirely politically incorrect to say that this is mental illness, but it's gender confusion. Okay, so here's the audio from the ad, and I recommend that you don't watch it, because if you watch it and you watch the face with the makeup and the hair, the wig and all that, you're just not going to be able to stomach it. I know I can't. But listen to the words, and you tell me, if this was Bruce Jenner running for governor, if you might support this.
I've always been a dreamer. California was once the envy of the world. We had what everyone else wanted. The American dream grew up here. Yet career politicians and their policies have destroyed that dream. It's been locked away, closed, shuttered, left in the dark, burned down. The government is now involved in every part of our lives. They've taken our money, our jobs, and our freedom. California needs a disruptor, a compassionate disruptor. I came here with a dream 48 years ago to be the greatest athlete in the world. Now I enter a different kind of race, arguably my most important one yet, to save California. I want to carry the torch for the parents who had to balance work and their child's education, for business owners who were forced to shut down, for pastors who were not able to be with their congregation, for the family who lost their home in a fire, for an entire generation of students who lost a year of education. This past year has redefined our career politicians as elitists, and the people of California as the warriors, the kings, and the angels. We never take kindly to glass ceilings here. Instead, we shatter them.
This one's way out there.
We're the trailblazers, the innovators. California is facing big hurdles. Now, we need leaders who are unafraid to leap to new heights.
He does not want to finish second in this race. He wants the world record.
Who are unafraid to challenge and to change the status quo.
I want to prove that it is absolutely possible if we only do it together.
California, it's time to reopen our schools, reopen our businesses, reopen the Golden Gates. So I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, I'm ready to be governor for all Californians. To reclaim our true identity, to bring back the gold to the Golden State.
What a tremendous victory!
Now is the time to achieve that summit, to be the shining city on the hill, and together we'll restore and renew the California dream.
It's about what happens from here. It's not just about one person. It's about all of us.
Okay, whoever did the audio mix there really blew it at the end. Lost total control of the audio because the music is completely overblown. But, you know, if this was Bruce Jenner, not who he is now, I would support this. I would certainly seriously consider it, but I'm not going to consider it at all. I can't vote for somebody who doesn't know what he is. I'm sorry. We'll leave it there. Now, I'm going to play just a short portion of the Hannity interview that Deborah was talking about in her email, because this is just really sad to pretend that all of this is normal. And somebody nailed it here in the comments. Someone named MR says, you know it's bad when Caitlyn Jenner is the voice of reason in California. No kidding. Now, we've got a guy named John Cox who's running, and I certainly hope that he can win. But he's not going to get the publicity that Bruce Jenner is getting right now. Here's a little bit of this interview, and it really makes me nauseated. And I was corrected. You're not supposed to say, it makes me nauseous. I guess that's the wrong, what's the word? It's the wrong tense. You're supposed to say, this really makes me nauseated. Okay, but whatever. Here you go.
You know, it's amazing when you think about it. I just have such respect for athletes. You know, you didn't win the gold in 72. You came back in 76, and you won the gold. A great Olympian, a great champion. And you really, well, I always say politics is a blood sport.
It is.
And a part of me say, what the hell are you thinking? This is hard.
It was not an easy decision. It took an awfully long time. I've always been involved in politics. For the LGBT community, I used to go back. But in 1973, I graduated from college in Iowa. I packed up my 63 VW Bug and drove across the country, everything I owned in the back seat. And I was coming to California, the Golden State. I went to San Jose. Why? Because San Jose was where all the great athletes lived.
Okay, I'm going to take a break here, but before I do, I want to play this audio clip from the Jimmy Kimmel Show where he attacks Bruce Jenner. Now, the reason why, and it's funny how I have to take one side and then the other and then flip back over. I got to go back and forth because what Jimmy Kimmel did here is absolutely disgusting. And I'm not supporting Bruce Jenner for governor. Okay, I don't think that this is a good thing. Having this guy who is not really sure of who or what he is running for governor now. But he's going to get a lot of attention, and a lot of people are going to be taking him seriously because Sean Hannity is taking him seriously. And I don't think that perhaps Sean is not going to be the guy that causes people to take Bruce Jenner seriously. But the advertisement is very, very good. Except for the views, the video portions where you see the face of Bruce Jenner and you go, oh, it makes you shiver, man. It's weird. It weirds me out, man. Anyway, so here's the clip from Jimmy Kimmel. Just, he talks about, well, let me back up. I want to say here that he would support Bruce Jenner as long as Jenner was a left-winger. Because you have to support him. He's transgender, and so everybody on the left would support him except for the fact that he's transgender and conservative. And we can't have that. And so this is what you get from Jimmy Kimmel.
Caitlyn Jenner 2 weeks ago. You know Caitlyn Jenner, right? Guillermo, you know who this is.
Yeah.
Okay. So she has launched her campaign to be next governor of California. Last night, she sat down for what they called a town hall with Sean Hannity. There was no town and no hall, but there was Sean Hannity pretending to be interested in Caitlyn's take on a variety of subjects, including her inexplicable affection for Donald Trump.
I think he did some things that I agreed with, some things I didn't agree with. What I liked about Donald Trump is he was a disruptor. He came in and shook the system up, okay?
He shook the system so hard he lost custody of it. Child Protective Services had to come in and stopping him from shaking the system. And then this is how well Caitlyn Jenner understands the plight of everyday Californians here in LA. First of all, she mentions this airplane she flies multiple times. They had this town hall in her own airplane hangar. And this apparently is where she's been listening to her future constituents.
Actually, we're at my hangar. The guy across right over from me, he was packing up his hangar. I said, where are you going? And he says, I'm moving to Sedona, Arizona. I can't take it here anymore. I can't walk down the streets and see the homeless.
Homeless people. Can't walk around them, can't fly over them, Is it transphobic to call a trans person an ignorant a-hole?
It sounds to me like all these left-wing talk show guys are pumping up the laughter. And they have people on staff or however they arrange it, but they laugh at everything. the host comes out and says, "Hey, you know what? I stubbed my toe." Everybody laughs like crazy at the slightest little thing. It's so ridiculous. But yeah, so now Bruce Jenner is an a-hole because he brought up homelessness, which is catastrophic in California. My God. I don't know. I'm out of words. So we'll take a break here. Come right back. The Jimmy Z Show continues. More audio mayhem. Jimmy Z. The Cleveland Indians are not going to let people walk in dressed as Indians anymore. Well, that's the whole fun of the thing, is to show up with an Indian headdress and chant like,
The Jimmy Z Show.
The Jimmy Z Show is produced, written, and directed by Jimmy Z. The show is wholly owned by Jimmy Z. All rights reserved. Content from other sources belong to the copyright holder and or speaker. In each case, Jimmy Z can be reached via email at thejimmyzshow@gmail.com. The Jimmy Z Show is produced, written, and directed by Jimmy Z. The show is wholly owned by Jimmy Z. All rights reserved. Content from other sources belong to the copyright holder and or speaker. In each case, Jimmy Z can be reached via email at thejimmyzshow@gmail.com.
Transgender from Rochester, and he used to be a girl, but she didn't like her world, so she's given up her pearls, and she's a man, and her name is Stan. She's a transgender from Rochester, and he used to be a guy, and she thought that she was bi, and her gender made her cry. Now she's a dame, and her name is Jane. All right, that's enough. Tucker Carlson.
The left and all the little gatekeepers on Twitter become literally hysterical if you use the term replacement. If you suggest that the Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate, the voters now casting ballots, with new people, more obedient voters from the third world. But they become hysterical because that's what's happening, actually.
The Jimmy Z Show.
I think you're the bravest man I've ever known.
Jimmy Z.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Jimmy Z, the Big Jimmy Z Show. I want to thank you for listening, and thank you for taking this program and passing it along to your relatives, your friends, your neighbors, and your coworkers. All those people that you know who could use a little dose of the truth. All right, we're continuing with Audio Mayhem. And I think the next thing we have here is, Jimmy Kimmel. You want to talk about an a-hole? That's Jimmy Kimmel. He was trying to insult Bruce Jenner, which, Bruce, for a lot of things, deserves to be insulted, but not because of his politics. God, it's crazy, isn't it? Oh, I found this. I didn't find this. Somebody sent this to me. And forgive me, I can't remember who it was. I get a lot of stuff from a lot of people, and I think it's cool. But Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols, he's an old man now, I guess. But he said, quote, I never thought I'd live to see the day when the right wing would become the cool ones, giving the middle finger to the establishment, and the left wing is becoming the sniveling, self-righteous, twatty ones going around shaming everyone. That's Johnny Rotten. So I guess the next Sex Pistols album will be, or it won't be Sex Pistols, it'll be a solo album, and he'll sound all conservative. Wow. Ah, that's amazing.
It's Audio Mayhem!
All right, we're going to do some public service work here because I've been getting these annoying calls. And, of course, as soon as you get the call, this is on the cell phone, of course, the mobile phone, which for some reason the mobile phone industry finds it impossible to stop these calls. But I get a call, and sometimes I answer, sometimes I don't. If I'm expecting a call from a client or something and I'm not sure what the phone number is going to look like, then, I'll end up answering the call, even though I probably shouldn't. Anyway, so I answer this call, and it says, oh, you know what? There's a problem. Somebody just ordered a big $500 item on your Amazon account. Please press 1. If you would like to, talk to our people and do something about this. Well, it's totally fake. It's total nonsense. And I have a couple of examples here. This is from the Federal Trade Commission Consumer Information website. And it says here, scammers are calling people and using the names of 2 companies everyone knows, Apple and Amazon, to rip people off. Here's what you need to know about these calls. In one version of the scam, you get a call and a recorded message that says it's Amazon. The message says that there's something wrong with your account, and it could be a suspicious purchase, a lost package, an order they can't fulfill, whatever. Here's an example of that.
An unauthorized purchase of an iPhone XR 64 gigabytes for $749 is being ordered from your Amazon account. To cancel your order, or to connect with one of our customer support representatives, please press 1 or simply stay on the line. Please press 1 to connect with our customer support team.
And here's the other example that the Federal Trade Commission website provides.
Suspicious activities in your iCloud account, that your iCloud account has been breached. Before using any Apple device, please contact Apple Support Advisor. Press 1 to connect with Apple Support Advisor. Press 2 to listen to this message again. Or if you wish to contact us later, please call us on our toll-free number, 208-262-0000. Thank you.
All right, so the bottom line here is that these calls are fraud. You should never respond to these because what they're going to do is they want to catch you off guard. So you think, oh my God, somebody's ordering a $750 phone with my Amazon account? And so you press 1 and then you start talking to one of these people from overseas. And I don't even know what country, but, far, far away. And they're going to ask you to verify your account, give us your password. And then it's over. They got you. So they will ask for probably your login, your mother's maiden name, your password for Amazon, and that's pretty much all it takes. So what they say here on the Federal Trade Commission website is if you get an unexpected call or message about a problem with any of your accounts, hang up. Do not press 1 to speak with a customer service support person. Do not call a phone number they give you, and do not give out your personal information. It's amazing that you have to say this, but if you think there might be a problem with Amazon, all you have to do is log into your Amazon account and check it out. And I did just out of curiosity, and of course there was no $750 purchase for an iPhone. So this is the Jimmy Z Show. I'm here for you. Customer service, our, what's the word? It's not customer service. It's a public service announcement. from The Jimmy Z Show. There is this amazing video that I first got from a friend of mine and a listener to the show, Marin. Thank you very much. But I've been passing it around, and a lot of people are aware of it now. Naomi Wolf is talking about the coming, or the desire of the government, the agenda now, which is probably why we went through all the lockdown and everything else having to do with COVID-19. They want to put together a system of COVID vaccine passports so that you would have this on your phone, and everywhere you go, you're going to flash your passport and prove that you were vaccinated, but they're going to be using it for a lot more than just that. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It runs about 15 minutes. And so what I'm going to do here instead is play about, 3 or 4 minutes to get you enticed enough to listen to the rest of it. But it's really good. She is a journalist, and she has had a very strong career through the years, but she's being called a conspiracy theorist now. I think in a couple of places she goes a little over the line as far as being rational, but you can't blame her, because all of this is mirroring what's happening in China. And so we have to be aware of it. So I'm going to play, like I said, 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes, and you get the gist of what she's saying. Hang on here. I got to stop this really quick. Okay. The name of this video is on YouTube for now. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it's on the Daily Clout channel, Daily Clout, and the name of the video is Watch Dr. Naomi Wolf discuss, quote, why vaccine passports equal slavery forever. And here you go. This is Naomi Wolf.
Hi everyone. It's Naomi Wolf, CEO of Daily Clout, and as I promised, I'm here to talk about the vaccine passports. I appeared on Fox yesterday to share my warning about the vaccine passports, and I got hundreds and hundreds of emails from across the political spectrum saying, I'm scared too, what can I do to help? So I just wanted to take more time to explain what exactly the vaccine passports are, because there's a lot of, I wouldn't say misinformation, I would say lack of appropriate warning about what this platform really represents. So this is probably the most serious warning I've ever given. As I said earlier, I've been warning everyone since 2008 that we could slip into a fascist reality, and the vaccine passports really are the last step, and, as someone said today, the hill worth dying on, or the last fight that we have to fight. Because once the passport vaccines are accepted, there is no more resistance. There is no more choice. So let me explain, as CEO of a tech company, Daily Clout, exactly why this, not even proposal, it's being rolled out in Israel. It was rolled out in Israel. It's being promoted in Britain that you have to scan your vaccine passport in order to go to a pub and have a pint. President Biden in America said this is going to be mandated. My tyrannical Governor Andrew Cuomo said that it's got to be, rolled out. The Excelsior Pass that IBM is creating, it's happening at warp speed. So please don't be fooled. This is the most dangerous tool that humanity has faced in my lifetime, if not ever, in terms of human liberty. Basically, let me explain a little nerdy tech detail. When you sign up on a website, or on an app, there's a place where you sign your name and you choose a password, and then there's a list of terms and conditions, and you agree to them. Well, that's really important. It seems insignificant, but it's really important, because what it means is you have choice. You can read the terms and conditions and you can think, this is too tyrannical. They're going to sell my private details. I'm not willing to agree to these terms and conditions. They're not in my favor. And the password and username means that you get to decide when you log on to TD Bank or when you log on to PayPal. You're not walking around your daily life logged into PayPal. You're not walking around your daily life logged into, a credit score. So that's really, really important. You're in control. So with the vaccine passports, none of that will be the case. Everyone has to be participating all the time. And what I mean by that is if you don't participate, you don't get let into the supermarket to buy food. You don't get let into the pub to meet your friends. You can't get into the restaurant. You can't travel on an airplane. You can't travel on a bus. You can't travel on a train. And it's not just that you're forced to participate. I can't say this any more clearly. The vaccine passport platform is the same platform as a social credit system. I'm going to say that again because it's so important. The vaccine passport platform is the same platform as a social credit system, like in China, that enslaves 8 billion people. In China, the CCP can find any dissident in 5 minutes because of the 360-degree surveillance of the social credit system. And it means that when you act like a good citizen, you get a boost, and when you act like a bad citizen, opportunities get closed to you. Maybe your child doesn't get into college or get into prep school. Maybe, you don't get that job, you don't get that promotion. The vaccine passport that is being proposed in the rest of the West is the same platform. I can't say that enough. Speaking as a tech CEO, what I mean is once this platform rolls out, any other functionality can be linked to it.
All right, there's a lot more to hear of this. So I recommend you go to YouTube and you search. I just tested this. So if you type this in, you will get this video. It runs 15 minutes and 55 seconds. Watch Dr. Naomi Wolf discuss why vaccine passports equal slavery forever. And I think we need to be aware of this because this is outrageous. And I always thought it was outrageous. They used to have this thing running on the traffic screens, the traffic signs on the California freeways. And they were telling people that we need your help, be part of the solution, load this app on your phone. And it was like, I forget the name of it. It was California Inform or California Healthy, whatever it was. But it's an app that goes on your phone, and supposedly you get it so that you can be informed about your neighborhood. And so if there's a big spike in coronavirus in your neighborhood, this app will tell you, be careful now, be sure to wear your mask because there's been a big spike in Los Angeles, in a certain neighborhood or whatever. But who knows what kind of stuff they would be tracking once the government, and you think about who's running the government in California, how crazy the people are running the government in California, crazy, left-wing, far-left, socialist nutballs, and they're going to have an app on your phone. Who knows what kind of tracking systems they have on there? Who knows what kind of information it's able to glean from your phone? So there was I was laughing reading the freeway sign as I'm driving down the freeway. Yeah, right. I'm gonna load that, but I'm sure a lot of people did. This sounds like the same kind of thing. I'm not saying that it is as intrusive as what Naomi Wolf is talking about here, the vaccine passports, but the vaccine passport never sounded like a good idea. And look, if I have to get the vaccine to go to a concert, and I really do want to go back to concerts, I want to go back to the Greek Theater and see live music, I may get the vaccine so that I can go to a concert, but I am not going to put a vaccine passport app on my phone. I'm just not. And we've got a lot more to get to. So hopefully we'll do, I can't guarantee anything right now, but hopefully we'll be talking again over the weekend, at least another hour. I would love to do 2 more hours. But anyway, until then, from the right wing on the left coast, I'm Jimmy Z. Bye-bye for now, everybody.
Jimmy Z.
I'm very disappointed in the president.
Thought he was kind of a dick.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thanks now. Bye-bye.
Dismissed. There's an hour you'll never get back.
You lose!
We gotta get off the air.
Dormant.